Hey everyone, Mia here again. So I'm going to show you today how to do less, earn more, and how we are leaving a ton of money on the table when we don't have this strategy. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so being an entrepreneur is a badge of honor. Like, we are really cool. And I realize that we're really unique too. A lot of times in the early days of my business, I used to hire a lot of people like me, and we had lots of great meetings about vision and not a lot of work getting done. Understand that we are unique as entrepreneurs. Russell Brunson calls it the 1% crazy, right? There is something unique about what we do. I mean, we are trying to change the world. We're hiring employees and creating a great culture and enhancing their lives. We're serving the customers and giving tons of value to them. There's so many rewarding things we do as business owners, and that we intrinsically believe that we can solve for people, and there's a result that we can give them, and we intrinsically believe it and we live it, and it becomes a part of us, right? But if you're like any entrepreneur, there's a lot that comes with that, and a heavy load and a heavy weight on our shoulders when we do that. And so a lot of times, because we want to continue to serve, because we care so much, we end up holding too tight to a lot of things. And so we end up working our tail off and doing a lot of work. And so I didn't really quite realize that there's kind of been this paradigm shift in business from the way it was to the way it is now. Again, I've been in business 15 years, so I've been kind of like, I guess, naively going through the motions of business, not realizing that there's a whole new group of entrepreneurs that maybe are doing things a little bit differently. I was at an event just recently for a marketing event, and there's a lot of, everybody makes $1 million or more a year there. And it was eye-opening to me because I can learn so much from them on how to launch a product. They're master marketers. I'm really excited to work with them from that perspective. And then I realized, wow, there's something I offer too, because I've created a way to be able to work literally as much as I want. If I go and leave for months, I know my business is going to continue to grow and work without me. Now, I'll be really sad because I really like working and I really like doing what I do. But I always say work 5 hours a day or less. Like, get your business to where you can work 5 hours a day or less. The 4-hour work week, I don't think anybody's working 4 hours a week anymore with business. In fact, I would argue that there's more businesses that we're working more, even though we have all these tools to be successful. And so I really want to show you how you really can earn less and create a business that can work without you, and that you can actually grow while you start to work less. So how many of us are actually working 4 hours a week? You know, we really aren't. And so I really want you to get to where you can earn more, work less, and really have really the abundant life that we can have and that we should have as entrepreneurs. We put a lot of our blood, well, I always say blood, sweat, and tears. We don't really put our blood in there, but we do have a lot of tears and a lot of sweat within our business. Okay, in this video, I want to dig super deep into that and talk about 4 points on how to, again, earn more and work less in your business. So let's go ahead and officially get started. Okay, point number 1 is working smarter, not harder. And I know that's kind of a platitude that we say all the time, but really, there's a lot of truth to it when we dig into the how can we work smarter and not harder. Okay, so the first point around this is not reinventing the wheel. Like, business is the same in so many areas of our business. We don't have to keep doing the same thing. And one of the ways you can train yourself to be able to let go of the things that you shouldn't be focusing on is kind of having what I call a good enough meter. You need to be okay with things being good enough. Again, I've seen so many entrepreneurs overplan and not actually get things ever started or get movement happening. And so if you have a good enough meter, you're gonna realize that, hey, what's the bare minimum I can do to get this thing started? Because as you go, you're going to learn so much through the process of actually doing that you're going to start refining things as you move along. Depending on the risk, I always say, start when you're 20%, 20% of the way through your process. If it's high risk, and if it's low risk, or the other way around. So if it's high risk, you want to start when you're about 80% done with the process, and then figure out the rest of the 20% when you're done. And then if it's low risk, just start when it's 20%. Just get going and moving, and then you can figure things out. And that is one way to really work smarter, not harder, because you're not having to make sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted before you move along. Okay, the second point is really geared for us as entrepreneurs and as visionaries, and it really is focusing more on energy versus time. I'm kind of an anti-time management guru, I guess you could call me, where as visionaries and entrepreneurs, I don't want you blocking out your entire day and having it all planned out. We need to really be able to be in tune with our energy and where we should be spending our time. And being able, again, as visionaries, to be agile and adaptive to the things that we should be working on during the day. So 2 more points around working smarter, not harder. And again, this is geared towards us as entrepreneurs again. And it really is around focusing on future things before you are ready. So you want to make sure that it's so easy to think you're bigger than you are, or to think you're farther along than you are in your business. And so you start looking at the things that maybe a growth company needs to do, or more of a what I call a momentum company needs to do, which is kind of after you're out of that growth phase. And so it's really important to kind of know where you are and be able to work the steps within that area. So that's something that's super important to do. And the other thing is launching another product before you have one that's successful first. Like, again, you're probably gonna get tired of me saying these in these videos, but sit on your hands as an entrepreneur until you can get a successful product going first. And then once you have that going, then you can add appendages to it, or create a new product. This is where if you're a serial entrepreneur, we got more ideas than we know what to do with. So get one idea going first. The second point is around being strategic versus purely tactical. So as entrepreneurs, a lot of times what happens is we want to find an expert that's going to show us what to do. And we say, okay, tell me what system I need to do. Tell me what process I need to do. Tell me what payroll company I should hire. Like, we're desperate for these solutions. And so what happens is we get very reactionary as an entrepreneur. And that is will cripple our creative spirit and really what our calling is as an entrepreneur and our role as an entrepreneur. And so what we want to do is become a principle-based company first. In other videos, I talk about values and how it's important to know what your foundational values are. There's a reason why that's important. I don't say it just because of fluff or it's what businesses do. I'll never tell you something because it's just what businesses do. I always put it to my meter and say, is this going to solve the problems that we have? And so there's a reason why you want to know those foundational things and the principles that you live by. Because what happens is that you can now create systems from your principles. So typically people do it the other way around. They want to build a system and then figure out how to apply their principles to it. But if you know what you are doing, then you can go and create the systems around it. You can go and empower employees to make decisions off of that. I kind of look at it as people that are principle-based. So if you haven't figured this out by now, I'm very principle-based. So if you're a principle-based person, I'm going to make decisions based on those principles no matter what and no matter the consequences. I will never waver. And I think in today's society, we need more companies like that are willing to be what I call good companies, that are intrinsically good companies that want to live based on their values and the things that they want to stand by. And then you don't really care how many haters you have. It actually makes business way easier. So when I talk about stress-free growth, I don't stress a lot about things. I actually am okay with problems and things that come about. And it's because I have this foundational thing, and I'm okay again with haters because I know what I'm rooted against. So yes, learn from others, but always put it to the test of your principles, your values, and your vision. And that is really what is going to get you to work less and earn more and empower others to be able to make decisions. Because when you do that, that is what allows you to create momentum in your company and then as a result, earn more. Before we go back to the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching these videos. And I'm going to continue to talk about how you can continue to build a team to support your growth, how you can watch out for the different speed bumps that may come your way as you're growing, and really how to kind of get some freedom in your life and get to where you're not stressing about all the little things that come with business. Because the sooner you realize that business is about solving problems, then it becomes a lot less difficult. You realize that, okay, I'm not unique. Like, there's a lot of other businesses going through the same thing that I am. So if you like videos like this, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share with a bunch of other entrepreneurs out there that may be struggling with a lot of these things. And together, I believe we can make a difference in the world. Okay, so now let's get back to the video. So the third point I want to talk about is the cost of mishiring or not hiring the right person, or not firing somebody soon enough. I mean, if anybody of you have ever hired, whether outsourced or in-house, you're probably feeling the pain right now of what comes with this. There's so much. It took me over a decade to learn how to hire the right way and how to fire quick enough as well. I literally have stood in a 4,000 square foot office when I wasn't virtual, and I fired my entire team before, and I was left with 2 people. I learned that one person can make an entire company toxic, and that they can instill fear in the entire company. And so, again, you're gonna hear me harp on these base values that you have. Like, when you know what you stand by, you're able to attract people. And even when people might quit, like I've had tons of employees that have quit in the past, and they literally come back. Because they realized it wasn't greener, and if they were a good employee, like, we take them back. So when you create that culture, you're going to find that people flock to you, and it gets so much easier to continue to build a base culture. So something we do a lot in our company is we have this trust index, where think of on the vertical axis, it's skill, and then on the horizontal axis, it's trust. And so your toxic employees are ones that are actually low trust, high skill. So this is the one employee I talked about that soured my entire team. He was so good. It was so easy to justify keeping him because he was able to do so many different things and he was so good at it. And but again, he literally was a gossip queen as well. And so he literally went and just created fear among everybody. And it just created a very, very toxic culture. And so you want to get rid of those employees so fast, even if there's a skill that you absolutely love that they have. And then the ones that you never want to hire, so if you make, oh, crap, I made a mistake, are the ones that are low trust, low skill. They're really bringing zero value to you. And then literally the ones that are high skill, and I wouldn't say super high skill, but just good enough, and high trust. I'd rather have somebody have high trust and align with our values and our vision and train somebody to get their skills higher than to have somebody that's low trust and high skill. So just a really simple kind of metric you can kind of, a graph you can kind of keep in your brain as you're hiring people and working with people, like where do they fall on this? And again, the more we can make objective decisions, because I'm the first one to want to make emotional decisions about business, because we're passionate about what we have, right? So understand what you're good at, what you're not good at, get people around you that support you. I've hired a bunch of visionaries before, that never works. I've learned to really embrace the differences that we can all bring as employees and as a team. I love hiring people not like me, people that challenge the way I think. When you start to think of business that way, that is really what's going to elevate your business and kind of get your big boy pants on a business and play ball a different way than the other entrepreneurs that are out there. Okay, so the last and final point is the benefits of team sourcing and how it can benefit your business. So when I talk about team sourcing, we have like 7 different departments, but I try to compartmentalize those into different areas that you can relate with. So there's really 5 pillars to really any business, and team sourcing really helps in all those 5 areas. So the first one is kind of like your brand or your brand positioning, your marketing, sales, operations, and employee experience. And so what I've done is pretty much taken those 5 pillars and found the 3 things that businesses need the most that they can literally just check off. So when they've done those things, think of like a bingo card where here's the 15 things, so the 5 pillars and the 3 things in each pillar, so it'd be 15 things total of all the things that you need to kind of check off for your business to be able to get your business to run without you. So if you're interested in learning more about those 5 pillars and how you can really get your business to work without you, how you can get it to really autopilot your business, you can go to stressfreesupergrowth.com, and I actually have a free presentation where I'm going to dig deeper into those 5 pillars, what things you need to get done in your business to get it to work without you. So if you want to learn more about that, again, I have a free presentation where you can go to stressfreesupergrowth.com, and I'll see you there.